Hi, Brian Gossett, GM Sports Media. It's softball season out here in Grandview High School. The defending 3A D1 state champs, the Grandview Zebras. Got head coach Leigh Ebner. Coach, kind of take me through that last year's playoff run and what do you remember about that state title against Whitesboro?
It was one of the best feelings I've had to finally be able to finish that game and know that we were state champions, to know that the last 3 years we finally played our game and did what we needed to do and got that state championship. It was great.
I asked your pitcher, Madi Doty, do you feel like coming in, the target's even bigger, or does it feel about the same the last couple of years?
I think because we finally won it, yes, maybe even bigger, but you know, they know that we have Madi and they know what type of pitcher she is and they know that she's going to bring it again. So there's no doubt that we'll have a little bit of a target on our back.
Talking to you before during practice, and you graduated 5 starters, some obviously big shoes to fill. I kind of want to just pinpoint to one of the pivotal positions is shortstop, so Leigh James, who I believe is now at Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Just what will you miss about Leigh, and then just kind of what do you expect at that position this year?
Leigh James was a fierce competitor, a great teammate, a great leader, and I mean she had all of the things, and she will be greatly missed. She is greatly missed. She's just one of a kind. But Sydney Mann will step into her shoes over there at shortstop, and she will do a great job, I have no doubt. Sydney obviously played center for us the last 3 years, but is a very versatile player. Obviously, she's quick, so it's not going to be a matter of her being able to get to balls. She has the arm. She has all the tools to be a great shortstop as well. So she'll step into that position and she'll do a great job, and she'll be a leader on that field. And I have no doubt in that.
Again, your pitcher, Madi Doty, she's going to play for the Texas Longhorns. She's one of the top players in her class, if not the top player in the country. Do you remember that first time you met her and maybe saw her throw softball?
Yes, and honestly, I had heard about her before I actually ever saw her throw a softball, and I had the opportunity to see her play a little bit of volleyball and stuff like that, and that was in 8th grade, and she was a phenomenal athlete then. So I was thinking to myself, I can only imagine what she can do on the softball field. And then when I finally, had the opportunity to see her out here on the field with us, it was apparent as a freshman that she was going to be a force and that she was going to go far and play D1 and play at that level. I had no doubt then. She was, as far as a composed athlete, the headspace was there. There wasn't a lot of crazy things. I mean, if she ever did struggle, you would never know it. She was coached well as a young athlete coming up, as she was learning to pitch and things like that. So she was ready to go as a freshman. And she just has gotten better and better each year. It's been a wonderful ride to be on. It's been a blessing to have been able to coach her, and I look forward to this last season and us trying to get back and get another state championship.
I mean, the amount of players you've coached, whether high school or even college, the level, you look at her batting, her pitching, these rankings, even select, now Texas Longhorns. I mean, can we say that she's, kind of the best player
that I've ever coached?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, and you're right. I've coached a lot of great players, but she probably stands at the top. I mean, obviously she's played, for USA.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of athletes in the country that can say that.
Yeah.
So yes, 100%. She's been, like I said, it's been a fun ride to be on. I'm just kind of, she takes direction when she needs it and all that kind of stuff, but gosh, she just goes out there and competes and does a great job.
Finally, just kind of the makeup of this year's team and what's it going to take to get back to Austin and hoist that trophy again?
It's going to take work. You know, offensively, we were really strong last year. I mean, we had Madi in on the defense, but offensively we put a lot of numbers, a lot of runs on that board. That's going to be something that we're going to have to continue to work for this season. We lost some big hitters last year,
Yeah.
and that's fine. That happens. It happens to everybody, and every team has to learn to regroup and figure out how you're going to put runs on the board. The team changes almost every year.
Right.
You know, you're going to lose somebody somewhere at some point in time. So the team needs to learn how to adapt and accept the new people and help teach them, you know, the ways that we do things and how we score and all those things. You rely on the girls that have been in the program for a few years to help those new ones come in and be able to adapt a little bit easier. But we're going to work hard. We're going to work hard. And the great thing about it is the nucleus of the girls that returned will help us do that. They will be leaders on the field. They've been there 3 times. Most of them have been there 3 times, you know, so they know what to expect. They know what it takes to get there. They know all the things that are going to happen through the playoffs. So it'll be their job to help teach these newer ones how to navigate through that, you know, how to get through the stress of it, how to be able to pick yourself up after an error or after a strikeout. They're going to have to help be leaders, and I have no doubt that they can do that. And we'll talk about it every single day. We'll come out here and work hard every day and on the weekends, and we're going to do everything we can to get back there, back to Austin.
Awesome.